Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am the Drunken Goth, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at some advice and tips for current Ferrari owners, new Ferrari owners and potential new Ferrari owners. Stuff that you should really know before getting into Ferrari ownership. So while I am planning on releasing a video on specific Ferrari servicing procedures and how it should be done properly, the first question really is, should you take your car to a specialist or a dealer? Now this basically boils down to which model that you buy. When it comes to the old stuff, I would always take it to a specialist. They knew the cars when they were new. Most of the specialists are set up by old boys that have since left the dealerships, so they will have the greatest knowledge about the older models. So anything up to about 360-ish, I would say get yourself a decent specialist that knows what they're doing, and they will never see you wrong. There are plenty of good specialists out there, from QV London, Mick and Phil down at QV, to Nick Cartwright up in the Midlands, or even JMH, Jason at JMH if you're in the north. Now, as a specialist, I probably shouldn't say this, but for the newer stuff I would always stick to main dealer, because the people at the main dealer have been through the courses. They're not like the old boys who have just tried to transfer what they know about the old stuff into the new stuff. They have seen them since they were new, again like the old boys with the older things. And of course, especially with the newer stuff, the Ferrari dealer stamp in the service book is still very valuable when it comes to selling a car on. The next thing that I'm always going to advise is a pre-purchase inspection. Whether that be through a trusted specialist or a dealer that you trust, it is always worth doing, because if some of these cars have problems, chances are they're going to be expensive problems. So it is always worthwhile doing this before you purchase. So find somebody you trust, dealer or specialist, get a good inspection done, because the last thing you want in your ownership is the first experience you have becoming an owner being an expensive problem. Now with the older stuff it's not too much of a trouble, because a lot of the parts you can get cheaper than a lot of the modern stuff, but when it comes to the modern stuff, even when it comes to something like the ceramic discs, if you don't get a disc wear reading or a clutch wear reading, instantly you up to at least sort of anywhere between 2 and 4 grand straight away the moment you purchase a car. And with the older stuff, the last thing you want is a corrosion or bodywork issue, which means your car is going to spend months being repaired in the body shop. So the last thing we're going to talk about in today's video kind of redeems me for telling all Ferrari owners with newer Ferraris not to go to specialists, and that is what happens when something's picked up that is not a service item during a normal service. Now at this point I would definitely approach a specialist for a number of reasons. The first one is it's going to be cheaper. Second one, it's not going to be in your service book, so it's not going to affect any kind of resale value. And the third one, most importantly, is that Ferrari dealers will only ever use Ferrari genuine parts, which is fine for the most part, but a lot of parts such as ball joints or release bearings, stuff like that, there are uprated options from other companies like Superformance or Hill Engineering, which are going to last a lot longer and are considerably cheaper. So when it comes to this, that would be the time always to find a decent trusted specialist and get them to do anything that's not a service item. It will save you a lot of money and it will improve the longevity of the car, handling of the car, stuff like that. Always worth doing. And always be sure to look into the parts that you're buying. So tensioner bearings, ball joints, stuff like that, always go for the uprated option. It will save you in the long term. And the same when it comes to any aftermarket parts you want fitting as well. Ferrari dealers will only ever fit what they supply. So I've had a situation before where an F50 came in and it wanted aftermarket harnesses, just race harnesses fitting, and because they hadn't been supplied by a Ferrari dealer, it was refused, and that's why it was sent to me as a specialist. So always get a decent specialist on your side. just for the things that you don't want in the service book. It saves you a lot of money in the long term. Well, that is it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like on it, please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye bye.